Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. We're not going to waste any time. Let's go.
Doe, say and Gabbana, that's one
I stopped the sound because of the music. That is Tia trying to convince everybody that her breaking up her family was a good decision and that she's doing okay, when she's clearly not. First of all, baby, beloved, you are a good-looking woman. You're not an ugly woman. You cute, especially when you do your little makeup and have your hair done and stuff like that. Tia is a cute woman. She's a good-looking woman. Like, she ain't the finest woman, but she's certainly not ugly. But she's not a sexy woman. Right? There's a difference. But all of that can be subjective. All of that can be subjective because you know who thought she was sexy? Corey. Corey thought so. Corey thought she was pretty. And Corey thought that she was sexy enough to marry her and make her the mother of his children and stay with her. And they stayed together for a long time. This is not a win. It's not a flex. That look is not only is that look not right for her, this isn't her look. This isn't her lane, right? But all of this is in an effort to try to prove to the world, right, and convince herself that she made the right decision. And then you've got some of these comments. Any woman who's ever been through a devastating breakup understands how important these moments are. Rebuilding your confidence, reclaiming your sexiness. Can we women just give her the support we want if we were in her position? This is a self-inflicted wound. If the breakup was devastating, she did it. She did that. We didn't get a report that Corey left her high and dry and he broke the family, and he really couldn't say that Tia was doing anything. He just moved on because he was wanted to, and that left her devastated because she wasn't anticipating the breakup of her family. If that had happened, then I would be able to understand more, like her just trying to get herself together emotionally and trying to see some type of value in herself and blah, 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 yada, 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 all this woman talk. But first off, she initiated the divorce. And then you're going to have people that say, well, why did she initiate the divorce? You don't know what was going on in that household. Neither do none of these women, but they were quick to say that it was Corey's fault, that she had initiated the divorce, that whatever was going on, even though none of us are privy to the details, that it was Corey's fault. The things that I have seen from her over since the time that it became public that they were getting divorced until now, the different little memes and the different, now mind you, this is content that she puts up herself. This is not like other people making fun of her and stuff. This is like her content that she posts, the different posts and the different, she's traveling. And then that last one was the Christmas picture where they, came together as a family. They took a family photo, blah, 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 blah. And just that body language, how everybody was comfortable with their shoes off, except for him, because that was no longer his home. Right. And even though the children will always be his family, she won't. You know what I'm saying? Like she not his wife. She's the mother of his children, so that still holds a place, right? I don't believe that Corey would ever truly abandon her just because out of the love he has for his children and out of the love that he has shared with her over the years. I don't know that that he hates her or anything, despises her or anything, or whatever. But she did this and then she went on the whole thing with the graduation. I wonder, has she, what phase is this? If the divorce was the graduation, what's this? Did they take the credits back and she got to go back to school? Like, I'm trying to figure out what part of the game this looked desperate. I'm just sorry. This one is, hey guys, you're missing out. I'm sexy. I'm Tia Mowry. I'm available. Come get me. Somebody listen. Maybe you all haven't seen the sexy part of me. Maybe I seem too safe for you guys. Let me show you that I have sex appeal and that I can be naughty and I can be a bad girl and I can be, this vixen that you're looking for and not just the girl next door and da 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 da. I'm not a plain Jane. Maybe the guys aren't coming to me because they think I'm a plain Jane. So let me bump this up. Let me get this. And she's done this before. She's tried to do the vamp look. You know what I'm saying? Like the vamp up. With the hair and the makeup and the eyes and the smoky eye and the heels and the da 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 da. And it doesn't work. And the reason why it doesn't work isn't because she's not attractive. It's not working because she broke her family. So men who would take a family seriously, men who would want to build a life with a woman and have a wife, even if he doesn't want any more children, let's say his children are grown, she's already got 2 children that she's raising with Corey, things of that nature. Let's say if a guy like that doesn't is afraid of a woman like Tia. And when I say afraid of her, I mean she's too much of a gamble. She presents too much of trouble and possibly threat because he's going to be trying to figure out, what did Corey do wrong? Like, where did that guy go wrong? At what point did she become so disenchanted with that relationship that she chose to abandon ship? And will she do it to me? Am I so much better than Corey? Am I so different than him? Am I going to be able to provide her something different than the father of her children and her ex-husband provided for her? That's so much over and above that she would never leave me, because I'm pretty sure at some point she told Corey she wouldn't leave him. I'm pretty sure at some point she confided and professed all of this love and ever wanting to be without him and loving him for the rest of her life. And I'm pretty sure at some point in their relationship, that was something that she said. It might even have been something that she meant at the time that she said it. But things change, do they not? And no man that takes family seriously would jump at the chance to get to Tia, and it has nothing to do with her physical attributes. It has everything to do with the fact that she divorced her husband and can't definitively say he was doing these specific things to me that made this marriage unsustainable for me. And that is why I left definitively, such that another man could say, oh, well, I don't do that thing. So it's a better likelihood that if I were to get with her, that we wouldn't break up, particularly for those types of reasons, because that's not the type of man that I am. So I don't actually enter into relationships and do X, Y, and Z, right? The thing that Corey did, whatever Corey did, right? But because she couldn't say that and still has not, which leads us to understand that this was a whole thing about finding herself, arbitrary things that don't have any concrete reasoning behind it, her feelings. And you just can't gamble on a woman's feelings. Our feelings change moment to moment and day to day. There is nothing solid that can be built on our feelings, not our feelings. It can be built on our actions. So what we say out of our mouths, as long as our actions match with the words, sure. But our feelings, putting something on our feelings, and our feelings is supposed to be the foundation. Oh, no, 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 no. No, not at all. Not at all. Can't play that game. Not with a woman. We as a collective of women are too fickle emotionally for that. This is why a lot of times people don't like the what do they call that? The what do they call that type of divorce? It's on the tip of my tongue. You guys will type it. It'll come to me. It's not no contest divorce. It's irreconcilable differences, or I forget exactly. I hate that when it does that. But you guys know what I'm trying to say. No fault. That's what it is. No fault divorce. You could just go file it. That's supporting women being able to leave a marriage for her feelings. And that is not a reasonable excuse, to the extent that it's just like, "Oh, I just don't feel like it anymore. Let me go and get a divorce." That's not mm-mm. If we getting divorced because of our feelings, I'm gonna need the concrete thing that caused the feelings. Imma need the concrete things that was going on that gave rise to the legit feelings. Because if you say I left the relationship because I felt abused, but then you can give me the concrete things that was definitely abused, it's like, okay. Well, you didn't leave because you felt abused. You left because you were being abused. You see what I'm saying? You didn't just feel it. It was happening. Like quantifiably. Right? But just talking about you felt away for a little while and you didn't feel appreciated and you didn't feel sexy, and didn't feel, so you felt like you needed to divorce and find yourself and do this and do that and travel, and that's fickle. That's fickle. That's not reasonable. That's not a reasonable excuse to break your family. And it's because of that Tia will continue to struggle to find men who she would want to have a serious relationship with. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.